Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 539 of Constructive Criticism. I'm your host, Heezy, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Abe Stein.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! You know what's funny is we would actually be recording this on New Year's Eve, right? Like if we were doing it during normal recording time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're also joined by the Mason Clark.
Yo, what up, what up? I'm ready for the spotlight in Atlanta. I locked in my deck. Terror. I'm a terrorist. I'll see you in Atlanta.
You can't say that. You can't say that on the internet.
Whoa. Wait. Oh, I've done too much work today. That's not good for the algorithm. Cut it, and then just leave me saying
Mason's
cut it
playing Eddie Crabs.
Yeah, I'm a crabby guy.
You're gonna give your opponents. You're gonna give your opponents the crabs.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you can't say that either. Ah!
Snip.
Dude, this standard format's so freaking good. It's so crazy how good it is.
And isn't modern so fun now? Like modern's been
I know, it's just how great modern is all of a sudden. You know, we've had 3 weeks of.
It's been crazy. All those decks.
I know.
That deck.
Remember that 5-0 with Eternal Witness Bant control? What? That was crazy.
Yeah, no new cards.
Yeah, no new cards actually. They were all cards before MH1. They were just all.
Bant Soul Herder, it's back.
Yeah, I Splinter Twinned my Eternal Witness, and I just kept going.
Today we're talking about our goals and thoughts for 2025. Man, it's crazy how the years go by. And we're just going to kind of dive in, kind of like last week's episode. This will be more kind of just a discussion between us and stuff like that. But I'm going to go first on goals, because I think that, one of the things that we talk about on the show a lot is goals, and, and how you need to create goals that align with, we talked about this with the CCR episode, but like, you need to have goals that align with your life and align with what you're not only doing, but like want to do or capable of doing. And so for me, I have a kind of a different goal for 2025 than years past. And I just want to be a better teammate, guys. Like, I want to help when I can help. I want to bird when I can bird. I want to be the enemy deck when I can be the enemy deck. I want to not always be in my own lane and really help others, as well as facilitate the team in the best ways that I can. I think that would help me the most in Magic right now, and also just help the people that I love and care about right now too.
That's an awesome goal. How do you feel like you're gonna come about that? Like, what's your plan?
So I think part of it will be being an active participant and facilitator. I think one of the things that I was historically really good at when I thought I was really good at this was being a facilitator for things and making things happen. And I think that if there's not somebody like that in your play group or on your testing team, then things won't happen. And the conversation will go into DMs rather than in a team group chat or Discord, you know what I mean? And I want to help facilitate an environment where that's not only not the case, but like where it starts to become self-sufficient just by moving things towards that. I think a really good example of this is like, hey, I want to do VOD reviews this day. Does anybody want to do it with me? And like, being the one to start processes and things so that others can either participate or that they can get ideas of like ways to use the resources that we have and things like that. I think the facilitation will be the key.
Sounds like even beyond facilitation, like that's the amount of leadership you're looking at taking on, like in that process, and really being someone who's like driving participation and like building that culture of like, let's all be chipped in. That's awesome. I think that that's something that I am really grateful, and was really helpful to me. Was really grateful that my scene and my team, group that I've worked with for a while has really just gotten that interest in themselves and they want it. But like, if I pop in to our Discord and no one's there, and I'm like, I'm just gonna like, I'll DM like 1 or 2 people and say, hey, I'm gonna look over these VODs, or I'm gonna like play League. Within like 2 hours, we've got 5, 6 people there.
Yeah,
When that's the case, like it shows in the results I've seen out of my group too. Of like, it shows how much more engaged they are and how much more we're all playing better and learning more and on the cutting edge of things. So that's awesome.
I started to do this kind of here at the tail end of this last year, and kind of like you said, like I find that when I do this, exactly what you said happens. Like it just naturally produces the end result of like oftentimes at night I'll be I'll get up at midnight to take a league or whatever, and Matt's in there with another teammate in a challenge, or like, and like I just, that wasn't happening before, and I think that this facilitation is really a key to driving that. So what about you, Mason? Do you have any goals that you're setting for 2025 that you want to talk about?
I think when it comes to Magic, my goals are just to like continue to try to want to improve and like be better than the Mason from last year. There's nothing too crazy in that regard. I like a lot of what's going on right now in that like space. I just want to keep on that. I know it's not the fanciest thing in the world, maybe the most motivational, but it's just the truth.
Well, I think continuing on your path is like actually a fine goal. I don't know, like sometimes when things are working and humming, like I think that you're the type of person that if things started to fall apart or not work, then you would adjust from there. But like, there's no reason to change if that's not the case, right?
Yeah, true. That's a good point. So I don't know, maybe I want to play like a challenge or 2 more, but I just hate being locked into those events. So like, I don't know. I'll play when I want to. I played Pioneer 2 weeks ago, just on a whim. I don't know. I'll split the top 8. It happens.
Do you have any goals for coaching?
No.
No.
Coaching. I mean, honestly, the biggest goal is actually probably downsize a little in 2025 is to work less. I just, I don't know. We'll have to see how the spotlights and everything go, not to get too ahead of it. But we're getting back to kind of peak. There's an event every month in Magic, like there used to be, that people care about, and that has big impacts on coaching, I think, where if people only care about the RCs in a real way, right? Well, I should say this, a large sum of people do. And that's when they want to get coaching is leading up for their RC. Then they create seasons. And it looks like we're maybe not going to have not seasons, but consistent stream. I'm already like consistently pretty full. So when it comes to coaching, I mean, things seem to be going well. And I always want to improve at that and do better. And I've been, learning from other games and other coaches and other resources, like reading books and listening to things in that regard, but nothing too concrete in that regard. So
what about you? Have any like major goals you want to talk about for 2025?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one thing I really want out of 2025 is kind of similar to where you were at last year, Spencer. Where like, I want to play more matches that matter, but I think I just want to be in the streets more than I have been. I think that like, and I think it's been a kind of, maybe not a struggle, but something that's been on my mind and been kind of, I've never been as in the trenches, at least since the pandemic and since graduating college and all that. Like, I have not really been able to be someone who's in the streets primarily as like what they're doing and where their focus is for even like a whole season of a format. Typically, I've been kind of juggling several balls, and a lot of my process development has been around like being able to maintain the success that I've had until now and be able to be qualified for the same level of events and feel as knowledgeable at the formats that I have been, and able to step in, rev up, and compete at the key moments of the year, like Mason was saying, with like the seasonal nature of Magic's it has been. But I think my biggest goal for 2025 is to, regardless of that, just be like able to plant my feet, dig in, and like be playing some challenges, maybe 2 or 3 in a month, like, you know, finding time, scheduling it, and being like, yeah, this is an event I want to win at, and this is what I'm gonna, you know, plan for, and putting those reps in. I think even really since the SCG days of having those events to look forward to, I haven't done that with any regularity, and like I haven't really had an LGS I'm going to in a while too. So having just like a regular, you know, be it like, you know, once upon a time it was like, I'm going to go infinite in standard and draft, and that's just what I'm going to play. I'm going to be playing every standard event at my locals. I'm going to be drafting on every day they hold drafts, and I'm going to be piling up store credit. Like I'm going to run it up, and that's what I wanted to do, and that was what I did, and it was awesome. But that was like, you know, 8 years ago or something. That would maybe more, thinking about life. But you know, like for 2025, it'd be great to have like a season on Moto where I'm.
Was it longer than some people have been alive ago?
No, not quite. I mean, some people, but not quite as long as you, Spencer. I'm not gonna lump in with you here on how long ago those days were for me. But no, like I think it would be really cool to be able to say like and see where it goes, because honestly, looking at where I had the most success in the last 2 years and looking back at 2023, like when I did lock in and I was just focused on Magic for the better part of, you know, 6 or 8 months, like the outcome of it was I very easily was, you know, crushing in 2 different formats and qualified for a Pro Tour. And I'd be very interested in seeing like what can come of it if I'm able to really prioritize and make time for it. Now, I'm saying this on this episode to hopefully hold myself and future self accountable for like wanting to do this next year, because right now it is really what I want to do. Of course, life could come up and could happen where that goal has to change. But looking ahead to 2025, I feel really able to connect with the game in like a really entrenched way again, and I'm excited for it. I really am.
I want to go back to what you just said, because we got some comments on our CCR episode about process-oriented, results-driven, and the goal that you're setting here isn't like you didn't say my goal is to play 2 to 3 challenges, which is a pass or fail goal. That's not the goal you're saying. You're saying my goal is to be in the streets more, and that you're going to hold yourself accountable to it, right? But if something comes up, that's the process orientation, right? Where if something changes, then the process and what you're working at changes. And I think that it's important to note, like as we talk about setting goals, you know, we've done many episodes on how to set goals and things like that, but like that's the thing that Abe just did. He didn't set a goal that was pass or fail. He set a goal that's attainable, that he also has control over the levers of what that goal means for him.
Yeah, and I know I've talked about SMART goals on the podcast before, about making them like specific, measurable, attainable, like, you know, time-bound goals. Like this is something where I know that when it comes time, I can boil it down to one section. It's like, you know, this month or these 2 months, my goal is to just be playing, you know, this much Modern or this much Pioneer or whatever. Like right for the 2 RCs coming up in the first quarter of this year, you know, one of my goals is to succeed at those RCs. I want to do well, and I want to make sure that in back-to-back events, I'm feeling good about my deck, and I'm incorporating the feedback of the metagame and coming out of it with a good choice. That right, like my goal for that time is going to be to be in the streets and to be playing matches and to be learning. But I can what that means to be in the streets, I still have control over in the small scale. It's just this year, this is what I want.
It'll be a great day, you know, when I beat you in the finals of the RCA, you know, when we're both in the streets.
I'm going to march over Mason and then over you, Heezy. You're going to get the walk from some Mark in some Portland Mark who fell over into the top 4, because that happens all the time, right? Some random person falls over. I'm gonna walk over Mason in the semis. I'm gonna walk over you in the finals, and I'm gonna go to Worlds, baby. That's what's happening.
We'd go to Worlds together. We'd both go to Worlds, right?
No, but I'm getting on the plane first. Okay, I'm getting off the plane
Wait,
first.
do we
too.
both go to Worlds still, or does only the winner go to Worlds now? Because there's two.
The United States, it's both, I believe.
It
I think we
still
get
it
four
still
spots.
is both. Okay.
Even with two.
Yeah, I think because our RCs are so huge compared to everyone else's.
Okay.
But I could be mistaken. Y'all can just play for double, just just play for also the prize money you win at Worlds. So whoever wins that match also wins the Worlds money.
Dude,
We can't do that.
I don't
I'm
think
pretty
that's
sure
allowed.
that.
However,
arranging
I'm
future
totally
prize
down to
money.
prison rules that a winner takes all.
I'm not going to agree to any prize distributions or discuss any prize.
You don't want to play for $35,000. You might be on the play.
I'm not.
You might be on the
discuss-
play.
I'm not going to discuss any prize redistributions of prize that are not yet in my hand. That would be ill-advised. Hold on, my manager's on the phone. They said I can't do it. I'm sorry, can't talk about it. NDA. NDA on my plans to split the finals. I'm sorry, you'll have to find out.
Oh
Fair
my
enough.
gosh, that was so good. You might be on the play.
I know I'm the one seed, baby. That's why I'm walking over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What events are you guys the most excited for this year? I have two. I guess I go first. First of all, Portland is my literal favorite place in the world. Oh my gosh, guys. Have you guys had the screen door?
I feel like we talked about
I've never been to Portland. So
I've been a couple places with the prof, but that's all.
Dude, am I about to experience both of your screen doors for the first time?
What kind of food is the screen door?
It's Southern comfort food.
but we're in the Pacific Northwest.
Dude,
I live in the South.
I know. Your mind is gonna be, you're gonna be like, how is this the best fried chicken I've had in Portland, Oregon?
Okay.
It's gonna blow, like, I swear I told the story in the podcast, but I'm gonna tell it right now because I love Portland. We go to GP Portland, and like a year later, there's another GP Portland, and I've been talking about this fried chicken. Like, we went there for dinner. Somebody ordered the fried chicken, and then we went there for dinner the next day so that we could all order the fried chicken. That's how good the chicken is. I've been talking about this chicken for a year, and Matt Kling is there with us this time, and he's like, I can't believe, you know, this chicken's gonna be so disappointing. You've been talking about it for a year, Spencer. There's no way it lives up to your hype. It's not possible. He takes his first bite of this fried chicken and goes, "Oh my god, you undersold the fried chicken."
That's an incredible Matt thing to say. I would believe that Matt said what he said earlier just to say that later.
But no, Portland's my number one. Like, I'm so stoked for it. And then I don't know if I'll do more RCs than that and Minneapolis, but I've actually never been to Minneapolis. So I'm pretty excited to go to Minnesota. It's one of the states that I've never been to before. So that's high for me, not just because I'm qualified, just like I love going to new places I've never been. And also, like, the regional championships are just really fun. Like, there's like something unique about all these players who worked to get to the same event and, you know, go. It's got like old school Pro Tour vibes in a lot of ways. I know people compare them a lot to like skill level to GPs, but like the vibe of like everyone being there and caring about it and having to qualify, it gives that old Pro Tour vibe. So, what about you, Abe? Any events you're stoked for?
I think so. I mean, we don't have the whole spotlight schedule as of now.
Actually, we might have it as the time this episode is out, right? Because they said they were gonna.
Okay. As of the time we're recording, we do not have the full spotlight schedule, but I am very excited. I mean, Portland is definitely what I'm excited for. I have not been to Portland. One of my best friends I've made through Magic, like absolute mentor to me, now lives in Portland and has lived in Portland for like quite a while, and so it'll be really good to see them. I am also, like, as far as Spotlight Series go, I'm not planning on going to any that are on the schedule now, but I was talking with the old Sakenic school of crushing. And there's a bit of an appetite to be like, hey, like let's rock up to one of these and like make a weekend of it, and I'll get back in the streets and playing again. And I think that even if it's even if it's not the same as it was before of everyone being really aligned on the same goals and everything and playing all the time as when we were like that was how we engaged with Magic back then. I think it's just really cool to see the return of these events promote that and to see that there's a hunger for it out of them. And so if that comes together, that will, I mean, be probably my favorite Magic event of the post-pandemic era, let alone like the year. So yeah, no, that's a lot of what I'm looking forward to. I think that especially to seeing more events crop up and the Spotlight series has come up, is seeing more of the community like engage more points of opportunity and doing it more. I think 2025 is year more.
I just realized that I mean, I didn't just realize it, but I just remembered that Portland will be the first time that all three of us, including a normal Mason-sized person, are together. Ever, like in the history of knowing each other.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, it'll be sick,
and we'll be eating fried chicken.
So. For both of you in the topic, keep it in your minds. It's happening.
Nice.
What are you, Mason? You're going to Atlanta, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm preparing for Spotlight Atlanta, which I mean might be a day or two from now. The time you're listening to this, sorry, it's not an episode to help you with that. We're going to use that event to help people with RCQs afterwards after I win it. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, that event has been really cool. I've been preparing for it for a little bit now. I feel really at the time of this recording, I feel really good about Standard. Maybe a lot changes. I imagine not with the holidays. I think things are going to be pretty locked in here. But I'm excited to see sort of like what comes of it all. And I think Standard's really fun. I think I have a good understanding of all the top decks and how to play them. And I just need to kind of like pick the one that I think is going to be the best probably on January 1st or 2nd. And then, roll up with those cards. So I'm excited to do that. And then I would like to play the Spotlights. I think one of the things that I've really learned about myself is that I enjoy things like the Spotlight and like the RC, but I love like the local Magic-y stuff a lot more. And so like I really want to try and do those sort of things. And I don't like traveling to Chicago or traveling to Vegas to play Magic. It does not equal a fun time for me. So I think I'm going to try and stick to the ones that are all like 4 or 5 hours from me, give or take an hour or two, right? Like I do the Apex ones and those feel kind of like the same, even though they're like 1.5 times the length it is to get to Atlanta for me. So I think I'm going to try and do stuff like that a bit more and just engage with Magic the way I want to. Like was invited to the Chicago thing as a creator, probably not going because there's no real tournaments for me. And I just know I'll be kind of miserable. I just don't like playing those things. So it's nice to kind of know what you do and don't like. And so now when I engage the game, it's always like, incredibly high stakes. We're going to the Pro Tour if we win, which is like the most fun, or doing things that are more like inbounds for what I love. Yeah. So
I remember vividly, I actually was thinking about this like 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was even talking to Devoner about you being in Vegas for the first time with me and taking you to Fremont Street. And we get on Fremont Street and the music is playing and like the lights are going on over. And I look at you and I was like, oh, you don't look, do you want to leave? And you're like, yeah, I don't like it here. And I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is too much. I don't want this.
Yeah, I just don't enjoy those spots and those situations. And I'm just like, why am I going to Magic events like Vegas or Chicago and things like that if they're not for me, Yeah. So just why do it? It's just not fun. So
all right, final thing before we wrap up. What set are you most excited for, Abe? Or you can say multiple, but
I'm gonna say the only one whose name I can remember right now, because honestly, this is the one thing about 2025 I am not looking forward to, is having to really be on top of all of the releases that are coming out with between Universes Beyond and everything. I'm gonna say Aether Drift because it's.
What about Tarkir? Do you like Tarkir more than Aether?
Dude,
they can't make me upset with whatever they do to Tarkir with whatever the Aether Drift. Aether Drift is a return to a plane I already thought they got wrong. So, yeah.
Wait, a plane? Isn't it like a bunch of planes? Aren't they racing through planes?
But it's part of Avishkar.
The new name for Kaladesh?
Yeah.
Kaladesh has been renamed to Avishkar.
Avishkar.
Yeah,
I love Mario Kart, man. That's been true since day one of this podcast. Everyone knows. Real ones know. Real ones know. I'm in on Mario Kart.
Yeah, I'm. Mine's got to be Tarkir. Like, that is literally my favorite
Dragon set.
My
really?
favorite
Dragon guy.
My favorite set of all time. So, like,
Spencer loves the Tarkir set because of all the dragons.
Dude, I like literally in my binder is the Japanese copy of Sarkhan Unbroken that I used to qualify for the Pro Tour. Like,
nuts.
I love Tarkir. Crater's Claws? Can we bring back Crater's Claws?
Crater's Claws, but it's been
better
2025.
But Bolt? Crater's Claws but Bolt! Oh my gosh!
Get this man at Watts. He's that. Get him to Seattle. Get him on a plane. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that, I'm excited for a lot of the trajectory of Standard. I mean, whether or not the actual individual sets have excited me much, I don't want that to, like, put a damper on anyone. I do, like, personally, because there's a lot of time commitment to memorize all these sets and, like, know what all the cards are and keep up with all these releases coming out. It's a lot, but I do think the trajectory of, like, where Standard's going, at least Foundations, I really like as being this kind of backbone, and I'm hoping that the format stands up to it, and that there like things work out as well as WotC hopes they do, because that's still yet to be seen.
I'll tell you one thing I'm not excited for: Final Fantasy. Do you know why? Because now I'm going to have to learn Cloud and Smash so that I can win matches with Cloud in multiple games in the same year. And like, Cloud's recovery is bad. He's broken though, so it's actually probably easy, regardless of.
Yeah, sounds like you're unhandicapping yourself.
Yeah, in all honesty, I play like one of the worst characters into like literally like top 5, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for Spider-Man. Unironically, I think the Spider-Man sets can be cool, so I'm excited for it.
Dude, I love Spider-Man. He's everybody's hero.
Spider-Man's dope. We're gonna have a set about it. It's gonna be sick.
Leave a comment. Let us know what you're most excited for between events. Between that, what your goals are. Hold yourself accountable in our comment section. And then, if you want to support the show, head on to patreon.com/ccmtg. Become a patron at $5 more. You get access to the Patreon Discord. And then, you can check out our sponsor, Untapped.gg. Check out the swag store. Always improving is the point of the show, but we actually are recording the episodes back to back. So, all I gotta say is, be always improving this year. Think closely about your goals and what you want to do, and think about that. If you want to join the conversation, I already talked about the Discord, the YouTube comments, but you can also follow us on Twitter at @CCMTG, as well as on Blue Sky. Like, comment, subscribe, review. Hey, where can people find you?
You can find me over at Blue Sky at More Nothings, and my DMs will be open for coaching there, as well as on Twitter if you follow me there, or you can send me. I still do have a Twitter. I just am probably not posting on it very actively. But yeah, you can DM me there or send me an email at morenothings@gmail.com, and if you're interested in coaching, we can work something out. How about you, Mason?
You can find me on all the social media platforms at Mason E. Clark. You can find me at twitch.tv/TheMasonClark, and you can reach out to me for coaching via those means, or my email, masonclark@gmail.com. Spencer, where can people find you?
Follow me on Threads and on Blue Sky at Spencer13H, and every week on the Nerd to Nerd podcast about nerd culture. Thank you, everybody, so much. Happy New Year. Hope you had a fantastic holidays, and we'll see y'all next year. Another episode of CCMTG.
Magic, magic, magic.